All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Wednesday, October 27th, 2021. So, market staging a rally here led by tech. As you can see, the triple Q's up 0.6%, was up a little bit more than that. And that, of course, is on the back of Microsoft and Google reporting earnings yesterday after the close. And really, market loving the reaction. If we take a look on the daily here, here's Microsoft, new all-time high. Google also just making new all-time high. Microsoft already had made one yesterday and really started doing that last week, but Google as well there. AMD a little bit more muted, actually turning negative now. So AMD's at the flat line, Visa getting slammed, and Texas Instruments getting hit. So this is putting pressure on the semiconductors. So we take a look at the SMH here. SMH opened negative, got back to the flat line, and then struggled to really stay neutral to positive all day long, and now rolling over a bit here. Even Microsoft dripping a little bit as the spiders tick lower. Dow coming in. The Russell's been getting hit all day, and that is on the back of the lower yields. So yields are still helping tech out, and they're hitting the usual suspects: the IWM, the XLF, XLE. Let's take a look at crude. So crude coming back in a little bit. Crude finally pulling off that 85 area. So that may want to do some backing and filling. Nat gas, on the other hand, is actually holding up really well. So nat gas looks poised to test this double top. I don't think it gets through that. Maybe it pierces through that in the near term, but I think it's got to do some more backing and filling to go on another sizable run. But anyways, getting back to yields here. I think your likely area for a pullback is into that 1.4 area. So you see the three moving averages here. You got the 50, the 100, and the 200 right in that range. This is also where you broke out of. See, this is where you couldn't get above, and then you busted through that. So that would be your back test area. And then on the weekly, you can see the convergence of the 50 and 20 right in that 1.4 area. So that would be sort of your near-term target there on yields on a pullback. So I believe that is where they are headed. So let's take a look at gold. So obviously yields helping gold out. Nothing crazy going on with gold today. Tech get the main beneficiary of the pullback in yields, but gold holding up okay. And I said yesterday that gold has been acting better. Silver also, slightly, small red candle, inside candle to yesterday. Nothing terrible though. I like to see this consolidate a little bit more, and then I think it could be potential long candidate. Platinum starting to roll over a little bit though as well, but this should have some support right around the $1,000 mark. But let's take a look back here on the intraday. So spiders rolling over, probably get down to that 200 moving average on the 10-minute. And VIX getting a nice little juice here. And we talked about the VIX yesterday. So I think the VIX has some backing and filling to do it. I mean, look how oversold it got so quickly. Really started selling off on the 6th of October and, all the way down to the 15 handle in really 2.5 weeks. So a big collapse there on the VIX, 24 down to 15 in about 2.5 weeks there. So it wouldn't surprise me the VIX get back up to that 17, 18 handle. And, it probably just has to do some backing and filling. I do think the real buy level on the VIX is a little bit lower though. And, the market's just got really overbought. They got on a sugar high. So it makes sense to see a little bit of a pullback here. And then we talked about this trend line also yesterday. This was a trend line I'd been watching for months. That finally broke, and now that is acting as resistance. So, support becomes resistance and so on. But, tech probably will continue to catch a little bit of a bid. We probably make a new nominal high on the triple Qs here over the next couple of weeks as yields pull back a little bit. So that is to be expected. And that will probably put a little bit more pressure on the Russell 2000. But what we got to look for here on the Russell is this is the trend line that I would be watching. It's just right in here. So does it make can it make another higher low? And if it can do that, and it coincides with a 1.4, pullback to, on the 10-year, this could be a long candidate. So that's something we're definitely keeping an eye on here. As far as earnings today, we do have Boeing, McDonald's, and Coke. Neither of these are really big market movers. Coke getting a nice lift today. McDonald's and Coke getting a nice lift. And then Boeing taking a big hit. That typically will move the Dow. As you can see, the Dow underperforming. Boeing makes up a pretty good chunk of the Dow, but not really hitting the broad market here. Tomorrow, the big names report. We have Apple and, of course, Amazon and MasterCard. And then MasterCard getting hit pretty hard here too. And of course, on Friday, there is Chevron and Exxon. So those are the big names that really have to report here. But market's just pulling back a little bit here. I wouldn't make too much out of it. There's not a lot of volume right now, only 32 million shares. So there's not a whole lot of participation. We're not going to make too much out of today's action other than market was just short-term overbought and needed to pull back a little bit. But anyways, guys, take care. I will talk to you tomorrow, and have a great rest of your night.